Now, one interesting concept I do want to talk to you about is obviously in boxing. One thing that I think it's becoming a bit more common now is
Yeah,
the switching of stances.
yeah, it's becoming common. I've seen a lot of people are switch hitters now.
Yeah,
I could do it too, man. To be honest, I can do both, but perfect one thing before we move on to the next.
yeah. No, that's for sure.
I've been in there with so many guys, man, where they'll be they'll be doing trying to do both. They'll be getting their ass beaten orthodox, then they switch to southpaw, thinking, oh, wow, I'm gonna go southpaw. I'm gonna put it
Yeah,
on this guy. Boom, then they eat a right hand. Stick to one.
yeah. No, I like that. I like that. It's a good point because yeah, even when I'm like sparring, like that's the one thing I noticed is that you know since obviously like I can fortunately enough I can fight obviously in both stances, but they'll
Yep.
try and imitate me in that stance. And then when I'm like beating them, they'll switch back to their original stance. And I'm just like, what was the
Yep.
point of that?
Yep. Yeah, and then in addition to that, MMA is a little bit different too.
Yeah,
MMA you have to be able to. MMA is something you have to be able to fight in both stances
yeah,
because there's such a wide variety of things that going that are happening in MMA.
yeah,
Like there's jujitsu, there's wrestling, there's striking, there's so many aspects and different things that are happening in MMA that you have to be able to fight in both.
yeah,
Versus boxing, it's a hand-to-hand game, so it's very different. I would say in that aspect. So in boxing, for boxing, I would say, man, stick to one. You know, yes, you're
yeah,
capable of fighting in both. You have two hands, you have a brain. Everybody, I believe, is naturally ambidextrous. I think everybody's naturally ambidextrous. I just think the fact that they haven't trained with the opposite side, that's what they're not used to the opposite side. Like
yeah,
if you broke your arm and your right hand, I mean, you'd have to rely on your left, right? So you'd learn.
yeah,
You wouldn't have an option.
yeah, that's true.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and you will learn because you know that, hey, dude, if I want to write something out, I got to make sure I can write something out. You're not going to sit there wordless. So everybody's naturally ambidextrous. Everybody can fight in both stances, but boxing is a pure striking based sport.
Yeah,
So if you can't strike as good on one side compared to the other side, stick to the side that you strike good on because you're just going to master that side.
yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah. No, that's a very valid point. It's better to be, I guess, like good at one than bad at both.
Yeah. And if you're going to say you're going to balance out both, that's just stupid. There's some guys like, and I'll give it to Terrence. Terrence Crawford is a very good guy, a very good fighter at, fighting at both stances.
Yeah,
I still think he fights better in orthodox, but he can fight southpaw and orthodox, and he could do it really well.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Sure. I know how hard it can be. Like just, I mean, I've done like boxing for 2 years, but
Yep.
obviously now I do MMA mostly.
Yep.
But I know how hard it can be, obviously.
Yeah. No, both. I mean, both sports are very difficult in their own perspective. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not one to shun one over the other. They're both difficult in their own perspective.
yeah, no, that's for sure. I think a lot of people really can't see that sometimes.
No, they
Yeah,
can't. No, I respect all athletes, man. At the end of the day, no matter what sport you do, I respect all athletes because athletes are people that are overlooked at times, man. Everybody thinks that an athlete's life is very easy when it's not. An athlete's life is very difficult, and there's a lot of it's a high stress level life. So I respect all athletes in whatever sport they do.
no, that's for sure. 100%, I agree.